and we will get going with it then. We're very protected here. Read this, okay. So, a quick history of Supernatural. So Supernatural premiered at Comic-Con in 2005. Was anybody here? Did anybody attend Comic-Con that year besides Tara and Teresa?
But I didn't go to that
panel. So that's kind of when Supernatural first became like a show that people were aware of, was in 2005. So then it premiered on the WB on September 13th. And the show actually initially ran on Tuesday nights after Gilmore Girls. And then if you remember, they had that easy viewing on Sundays. That was, I think, at like 9 o'clock. The first episode of Supernatural actually captured 5.7 million viewers. I don't think we've ever seen those numbers since then. But for that premiere, that was pretty impressive. Okay, so basically, the Supernatural fandom kind of goes hand in hand with how the show started. December 27th of 2004, there was a mailing list called Supernatural on the WB, and it was created and started to distribute things. On December 18th, 2005, the greatest journal community, Supernatural WB, was created. On July 21st, 2005, a MySpace group called Supernatural Fans Rock was created. And then on February 16, 2006, the LJCom Supernatural newsletter was created. Now, in the beginning of Fandom, there was a little bit of a confusion over what to use. If you're up on the set, they use SN as the abbreviation for the show. But because of how fandoms are online, Sports Night is also a really popular fandom. SN is obviously a little bit more for Sports Night for them as opposed to Supernatural. So the fandom kind of came up with SPN to be our, not quite official acronym, but it's the most commonly used. You will still see people use the SN one, but they do kind of get a little bit confused. And then once in a while you read a Sports Night Supernatural crossover, and then it's just crazy. Okay, so there are a lot of different fan sites out there. I just kind of highlighted a couple of just very few of them. Basically for information, the Supernatural newsletter, it includes news, interviews, episode information, fanfic, fan art, and pictures. It's released every day, usually sometime in the evening, and it basically just lists everything that happened in fandom on that day. If you do something, like you make a set of icons, you can actually post them and explain to them, I made this post, please link to me. It's a good way to kind of interact with the rest of the fandom, to find them and let them find you. That's actually how, when I was first starting out with Plastic Winchester Theater, that's actually how I started to get numbers, was through the newsletter. Was they would pimp it out every week when I would do it, and that's how I got traffic to my blog. SPN Fan Central is actually just a spoiler-free version of the SPN newsletter. So basically, if you're spoiler-free, which we noticed a lot of us were last night, it's a good place to get news because they'll either take let's say an article came out, they'll take that article, take all the spoilers out of it, and then repost it for you. So you can still get the information, but you're not getting any of the spoilers. And they also will link to fan art and vids and icons and all that other stuff. Supernatural TV is a website that's not on LiveJournal that contains a forum, a picture gallery, and an episode guide. They update just a regular website that I think the two guys run. And they, I lost my Supernatural TV. And Dean Sam is another LiveJournal community, and that's more of an active place for people to post their fan art, information on the show, information on the actors, and fan fiction. We'll touch a bit on Dean and Sam in a bit, and when we get to the wank section, we will touch a bit on that. Many of you may be familiar with that, maybe not. And then actually, as an alternative to Dean and Sam, there is another LJ.com called SPN Fresh Blood, which is basically the exact same thing as Dean and Sam, except they try to be a little less... What's the word I was looking for? What? Less wanky. Wank-free would be a good example. They try to make everybody get along just a little bit better than this. Not that they don't get along in Dean and Sam, but there's been suspicious of that in the past. And the last thing that I wanted to mention was Telegram Without Pity, which has a forum, which is a very active forum in the Supernatural fandom, and then episode recaps, which Damien writes every week just to I mean, yes, they're very snarky, but I think they're also very funny, and they kind of add, he does sometimes catch things that I didn't catch in the episode. So that works too. Fandom projects. These are just some kind of fan art places you can always check out online. These are all on LiveJournal. SPN Meta is a canon-centric community, including meta discussions of what the canon means for the characters. So a lot of us will sometimes, you would be like, why didn't Sam drive the car in season 2? And then we'll spin this giant theory about it. And we'll come up with all the supporting evidence. And it must be something. And sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So this is a really great resource if you have an idea about the show and you kind of want to talk with other people. They have a really good community of just bouncing ideas back and forth and letting people kind of talk things out and talk your way through an idea. The SPN Pick Spam community, just basically people post pick spams of the actors. They post pick spams of, like, I saw one last week that was just of like Dean smirking. So it's like they'll pick a theme and they'll try to just post for it. Which, if you're in the mood for a little bit of pretty, that's a good place to go. The Supernatural Fic is just one of the many Supernatural fanfic archives. So people will post their fanfic to there, and they can post basically anything. I mean, we're talking Jen / Het, anything that you can think of, they'll probably post. Their crossovers are all going to be on that site. There are quite a few different fanfic sites. I just picked that one because that was at the top of the list. And then Crack and Paula, I think, is a really good resource too. Basically, a group of fans, they're just, they're readers, they're writers, and they're artists, and every week they read as much as they can, and they look at as much as they can, and they make recommendations. So, because our fandom is quite large, it gets to the point where there's almost too much for one person to go through. So this basically team of people gets together every week, reads as much as they can, and at the end of the week, recommends what they thought was the best of the best. So they'll say, these were the 7 fanfics that we thought were outstanding that were posted this week. Or, this is a batch of icons that I really want to recommend to you. So I think that's a really good resource just for not necessarily just logging through all the crap, but making sure you're getting like a lot of great stuff. So fandom can be a very positive thing. Just 3 examples of how our fandom gives back either to charity or to our show. Fandom Rocks is a fan-run initiative that raises funds and awareness for charities around the globe. I meant to double check this before after, but they've raised quite a bit of money for different charities that they've done in the name of Supernatural. Just trying to pick charities that do something to do with our show. I think they gave some to the Lawrence the animal shelter. They try to pick charities that kind of fit into our show a little bit. Operation Winchester is a project that aims to support the hardworking troops overseas by sending them care packages that include a few of the comforts of home, along with copies of the Supernatural Season 1 DVD. So basically, we're sending care packages to the troops that are overseas, but amongst the toilet paper and the candy bars, there's their Season 1 DVDs of Supernatural. So they pop those in and hey, we got another fan. So that's a really good project. And the last thing that I wanted to highlight was the SPN Postcards campaign, which basically sends postcards up to the crew in Vancouver to thank them for all the work that they put into our show. So, because we obviously get the rewards of all their work every single week. So just to say thank you to them. And they do really appreciate them. I'm sure some of you have seen the pictures. They have a wall in their front office that is just covered from floor to ceiling of these postcards. And they do walk by, they do look at them, and they do pick out their favorites. So it's a really good way just to let them know that also that we're out here and we're watching and we're really excited about their show. Because I think that sometimes, it is a job to them. Sometimes they can kind of forget that, what they do really does touch people and really does, connect with us.